So last week I went out to dinner with my roommate and another friend, and my friend asked for a box, and the box took a while to get to our table. And when the worker brought the box to us, he was like, "Oh, sorry, I was in a debate with my coworker." And the coworker was standing next to him too. And I'm nosy. I was like, "Oh, what was the debate about?" And he was like, "Well, my coworker believes that the moon landing is fake. And he believed that the moon landing happened and that there's been people on the moon." And I was like, I kind of agree with your coworker. Got to take his side on this one. Not that he asked my opinion, but again, I'm opinionated. I'm a little nosy. So I was like, well, I kind of agree with your coworker. And he was like, "No, not you two. Like, well, then I bet you're also like a flat earther and believe that the earth is flat." And that kind of started me down a rabbit hole. Because I was like, kinda. Like, I kind of am a flat earther, actually. The arguments are interesting. And my friend was like, "Jerica, you can't actually believe that the earth is flat, right? Like, you don't actually believe that." I was like, well, kind of. Like, of course, I don't like have a stance where I'm like, oh, the earth is either flat or it's round. Like, at the end of the day, I don't really care that much. Like, it's not that deep to me. But I will say, I don't trust the government. That's for sure. And NASA is a government organization. I also was looking into NASA after this, conversation at the restaurant. And they spend almost $67 million a day. And we haven't been back to the moon. So I don't know. I can't get behind the moon landing personally. But on the flat earth topic, with NASA being a government organization and how much they spend every day, just who our government is. I mean, we all saw the Epstein files, right? Yeah. I don't believe that NASA would show us the truth. Like, why would our government lie about so many things, but then with what the earth looks like and how the earth works and our solar system and everything that NASA does, right? Why would they show us the truth of like what's actually going on? Like, they're not going to be fully transparent with us. Like, oh yeah, this is what everything looks like. I don't think that they would do that. I just don't buy that. I don't think that NASA is showing us 100% the truth and being transparent. And like, yes, this is how everything works. I don't know. I just don't think I can trust them. And the flat earth conspiracies, I was doing a deep dive into some of those videos. Sometimes they pop up on my feed. I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. The flat earthers kind of have me convinced on this one. So, I don't know. Am I a flat earther? Maybe.
You think about it long enough, and this whole flat earth system blows half the world's theology straight into the garbage can. Mormonism, gone. Catholicism, gone. Evolution, dead and buried. The Bible says the earth is fixed, covered by a firmament, and ruled from the side to the north. The moment you take that literally, the house of lies collapses. That's why the devil hates it. It's not about shape, it's about sovereignty. A flat, enclosed earth means there's no room for man's pride, no billions of galaxies to hide in, and no evolution to crawl out of. It puts man back under God's ceiling, right where he belongs. The devil said, "I will ascend above the stars of God." He's been trying ever since. Only now he's using NASA, SpaceX, and every so-called space agency that bows before the little g God of this world. You think those rocket launches are just science? They're rituals. Modern day Tower of Babel projects wrapped in high-tech language. They are not reaching for the stars. They're trying to breach the firmament and dethrone the creator. And if Lucifer came right out and said, "We're trying to reach God's throne," every sane man on earth would laugh him off the launch pad. So he dresses it up in science fiction and sells it as exploration. They have to make you believe in endless space, because the second you see there's a boundary, you'll start asking who built it. That's why they fill every classroom with spinning globes, every movie with outer space, and every kid's head with planets and astronauts before they can even spell Genesis. They want God far away, so so far he might as well not exist. The lie is psychological warfare. Make you feel like a cosmic orphan instead of a handcrafted soul under a father's sky. But once you open the book and your eyes at the same time, you'll see the trick. The strong delusion Paul warned about isn't coming. It's here. The greatest cover-up in history isn't alien life. It's the Creator's architecture. The globe is man's prison. The firmament is God's temple ceiling. And when that ceiling rolls back as a scroll, every eye will see who really sits above it.
I finally asked my pastor today his thoughts about the biblical flat earth, and I'm kind of freaking out. Hey guys, my name is Victoria. I became a Christian last year, and it really didn't take me long when I started reading the Bible to realize that we don't live on a globe. I think when you have eyes to see and ears to hear, it becomes pretty obvious right away. So I've been going to this church in my community for the last year or so, and I know that most churches don't teach the biblical cosmology, and most people are under the belief that we live on a globe, even, the majority of the Christians that I have talked to. So right now, I've kept this to myself for the most part, just to avoid arguments with people, and I've not brought it up with my pastor because I've almost been nervous to hear what he has to say about it, because most people have been so dismissive of this topic. But right now we're doing this program midweek, and it's called Abide, and I finally had to say something because on the day that I was reading today, the author referred to the world as the planet, and the word planet directly contradicts the Bible. Obviously that word is not in the Bible, and so I finally took it upon myself to email my pastor, and I shared my thoughts with him, and I'm kind of freaking out about what he's going to say. So I ordered a new Bible, and it came today. I got a King James Bible, specifically because in Genesis 1:1 it says creation of the firmament. My other Bible doesn't say that word. It says the expanse. And I was going to throw out the little sleeve that it came on, and it shows on there a globe on right on the sleeve for the Bible. So anyway, the deception is all over.
I wish I never would have went there. I want to talk to you about something that almost nobody pays attention to. But I would still be king of the show. I'm going to talk about the sun, but
Did the Book of Enoch say that the earth was actually flat? Look, please don't come for me on this one. I am just the messenger. Let's follow his journey. Enoch says he is taken by angels up a mountain so high that it touches heaven. Once he is at that height, he can see the sky is being held up by the four winds like they are four giant pillars. And at the edge of all of this, heaven sits atop of it like a dome. That does not sound like some rock flying through space. That sounds like a divine design. But let's keep going. Enoch's journey takes a darker turn when he's led downward into the abyss. Now he sees flames rising like endless columns of fire. And down there, chained up, waiting for Judgment Day, were the Watchers, the ones that corrupted mankind. They are locked away beneath the earth, just waiting for Judgment Day. So Enoch's vision paints earth as it's layered, right? Like a cake. You have heaven sitting in this dome shape above it, the four pillars holding up the sky, earth, God's creation, if you will, and then underneath this is this fiery abyss where the angels are chained up waiting for Judgment Day. So what happens to humanity's souls on God's creation when they pass away? That's what the angels show Enoch next. And if we believe Enoch, it changes everything that we know.
And you can call me crazy if you want, but the world is not round, it is flat. They tell you it in the Bible, and it says, and God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And the evening and the morning were the second day, and God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together under one place, so let the dry land appear, and it was so. When you're looking at the sky, it's the water above the firmament. We have never been to the moon. I forget what NASA means, but it means in some other language it means to deceive or to lie.
That makes sense.
This is the real reason why the Georgia Guidestones was demolished.
What up, bro? Did you know that there's this hole right here? See that hole? It lines up with Polaris, the North Pole Star, all year. If you look at nighttime through from the other side, that hole goes up, and the North Pole Star is right in the middle, and it happens year-round. This is actually proof that the Earth is a flat, stationary Earth. And that's why this costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to build, right? This is what they want for the New World Order, of course. But the point is, they know what the Earth is, right? This thing wouldn't work if the Earth was spinning 1,000 miles an hour, shooting 66,000 miles per hour around the sun. It literally wouldn't work. It gets even worse, though, guys. On the side here, it's actually a calendar. So if you see this right here, this is a calendar. So if you look through this, you can track the sun every day throughout the year. There's a certain year where it will be right in the middle on the solstice. It's a calendar. Okay? They buried a time capsule over here. Yep. And it tells you all about the astronomical abilities of it, right? This is some crazy stuff. So, channel through stone indicates celestial pole. That's the little hole that you see the North Star through every day for thousands of years. Horizontal slot indicates annual travel of sun, which is that right there, which is how you get the solstice. Sunbeam through the capstone marks noontime throughout the year. There's a slit in the top. When it's exactly 12 o'clock, the sun will be right in the middle of it. This is because the sky does the same thing and resets every year. This will always be accurate. That's why I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars building it. Or it would be a waste of money, right? It would only be right 1 year or something.
So there you go. The Georgia Guidestones, not only was they basically the New World Order written in stone, there was also a complete astronomical clock.
Once the rocket gets to a certain elevation, the air is super cold and super thin. So any of the fuel being dispensed from the rocket would naturally just instantly freeze as soon as it comes into contact with the cold air. It's just like if you go to that super cold city in Russia and you throw a bucket of water into the air, it immediately freezes. It's the same concept. But have you paid attention to the fact that every single rocket on Earth, it shoots straight up into the air, and then it starts curving. It follows an arched trajectory, and then never goes higher than that. It all looks like they're avoiding a dome, the firmament. So my conclusion is that no, they're not scraping the firmament because that would destroy the rocket, but they're avoiding the firmament. And that's why every single picture on Earth, every single video on Earth of a rocket actually in outer space is CGI. Do me a favor, go on Google Images and search rocket in space. Every single picture is CGI. I'm not making this up. So obviously we can't go to space. We're trapped under the firmament.
Good evening, aloha from Florida. Another rocket launch. Is it SpaceX? Is it NASA? Doesn't really matter. It's going to go up, over, and down splash like 99% of them. Same trajectory as a ballistic missile. On the rare occasion, one will go straight up and you'll see that huge reaction in the sky. If this one goes high enough, you'll see that reaction too, like a wake behind a boat. Yep. So what does thunder echo off of? Why do rainbows have the shape they have, and why are they more arched in the north and very flat in the south? Hey, it's beautiful. Lots of colors coming through on the screen here. But you see how it's leveling out now. Not very high, not very far away. Oh yeah, it just disappeared. So anyway, that's it. Aloha from Florida. NASA in Hebrew, NASA, means to deceive. And there are some in the CIA that say NASA stands for not a space agency. Have a great night. God bless.
All right, so look at this deception in this Bible. This is a baby Bible, right? Okay. God separated the light from the darkness, let there be light. He said, and the light turned on. He called the light day. He called the darkness night, and that was the end of the first day. All right, cool. Then God said, "Hey, I will divide the waters." He separated the waters in the clouds from the waters in the ocean below. What? But the Bible never says that. It says he divided the waters from above and the waters below and put a firmament in the midst that showed his handiwork, or something like that. So, why is this? And it says nothing about a firmament, bro. Nothing about a firmament. Like, it's... I don't get it, bro. Like, they really want... I bet it says it's a globe, too. Like, come on, bro.
So the sun doesn't actually set, it just goes further and further away. It's a vanishing point, a diminishing point. So if you see 0.5, you don't see anything, but when you zoom in, things will appear. Now obviously our eyes can't zoom in, so it's just traveling further and further away. Like you don't see anything there, just like you don't see the gap underneath the sun when you zoom in. See the gap. We go further and further away. Again, these little buoys out there, you don't see them, but when you zoom in, they pop up. Relearning?
When first engaging someone with this subject matter, it is best to remove yourself from center stage. For example, by putting on a flat earth audiobook or album in the background during a long road trip, or putting a movie like Level, Flatten the Curve, or The Mechanical Realm on the TV when friends or family are visiting. Rather than immediately trying to engage in discussion or debate about the topic, it is far more fruitful and peaceful to first have them agree to watch an informative documentary together. This takes the focus and onus off of you to answer all of the same questions people always ask when presented with this topic, and allows them to start considering the subject silently while watching a video. Or putting a movie like Level, Flatten the Curve, or The Mechanical Realm.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.